Okay, so now that we have several crimped wires that have been soldered together, I'm going to show you how you insert them in your female headers. And your female headers will be later clipped right, attached, assembled right into that connection right there, and it'll snap when it goes into place. But that's what we're going to do with it once we have our crimped wires in. So I'm going to show you how to first install them, and it's real easy. So there's a tiny little locking tab on the back side here, and that locking tab there interacts with the position of the locking tab on the female header on that edge right there. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that into slot 1. I'll call that slot 1. So that's going to go in just like that. So once again, just like that. And it goes in okay. You're going to have to use a little bit of force, so there, you heard it snap. That snap sound right there, that tiny little snap sound, was it locking right there. So now it's in position and it's locked in. And the next wire will go in similarly. So again, pushing it in. And in some cases, these crimps were made before. This one is going to give me a little trouble because I wasn't as careful in making it. So I'm going to try this one here, and then we'll show you what you can do if you have a problem. So I'm going to take this one that I just made and slide it in, and it locks into place. And how about one more? We'll do this one. See if we can get this to work for the video. And into place. So there are 3 of them in. So let's say that that I accidentally install the wire in the wrong position in the female header. And now I want to take that crimped wire out and put it into another slot. What are we going to do? Well, if we take our tweezers, perhaps your tweezers that came with your kit can be used. So I'm going to go ahead and set that header down against the work surface, and then I'm going to go in with the tweezer, tip the tweezers, and actually lift up on that locking tab. And then at the same time, this is a little tricky, but you can get the hang of it, you can remove it then and take it out without destroying anything, we hope. Just wiggle it a little bit, and it's being a little bit stubborn. And we got it out. Now we look at it, and if it gets a little bent, we can re-straighten it, and then we can go ahead and install it in the other slot that we meant to install it in, say, for example, like that. And then you can't do this over and over again too many times, because that little tab will get warm, but it did it again. And now, when all of my crimped wires are installed in the header, this will mate with the male header soldered to the board nicely, and we can remove it and put it on as often as we like, just like that. Well, this one's a little bent. Perfect. So you can see one of my pins is a little bent. I'll have to take and straighten that out a little bit somehow. Looks like several of them got bent in the process of playing with it. Obviously this board's had some wear and tear, and I'm going to mate that just like that. And there we go. So even though I just threw this together and this had some bent wires, if you're careful, you have to wiggle it a little bit and don't use too much force, you'll get it on there. And then to remove that female header from the male header, you can use your fingernail and slide it in there in this release tab. With a little bit of pressure on that release tab and some side-to-side motion on that, you can usually get it to come out fairly easily. And that way we can attach and detach a few times.